Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the Q3 FY22 earnings conference call of VST Tillers Tractors Limited, hosted by Batlivala and Karani Securities India Private Limited. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during this conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Annamalai Jayaraj from Batlivala and Karani Securities. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Margaret. Welcome to VST Tillers Tractors Limited 3Q FY22 post-result conference call. From VST Tillers Tractors Limited management, we have with us today Mr. V.T. Ravindra, Managing Director, Mr. Anthony Sirkara, Chief Executive Officer, and Mr. Pankaj Kempa, Chief Financial Officer. I will now hand over the call to the management for the opening remarks to be followed by question and answer session. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone, and happy to be here to share the Q3 FY22 results with all of you. The company achieved a quarterly turnover of 208.44 crores in Q3 of FY22. That is a growth of 2.75% year on year. The overall EBITDA percentage is 16.62% compared to 20.47% previous year. The reduction in EBITDA is mainly due to the reduction in other income. The operational EBITDA is at 14.51% compared to 14.71% the previous year. The PAT is at 21.05 crore, previous year 30.83 crore, down by 31.72%. Again, this is mainly due to the other income and increase in depreciation. Coming to the 9-month results, April to December, the company achieved a turnover of 635.5 crores. Year to date, December 21, the growth is at 11.6%. Overall EBITDA percentage is at 18.35% compared to 19.25% previous year. The reduction in EBITDA again is due to the reduction in other income. The operational EBITDA percentage increased to 14.80% compared to 14.74%. And the profit after tax is 77.21 crore against previous year of 77.84 crore. Now coming to quarter 3 volumes on power tillers. Power tillers in quarter 3 F22, we have done 7139 power tillers against previous year quarter 3 number of 6734, and tractors 2043 against previous year of 2433. This is mainly on the volume and financials, and with these opening remarks we could go on to the question and answer session. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on the touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Anyone who would like to ask a question, please press star and 1 at this time. The first question is from the line of Krupa Shankar NJ from Spark Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon. A couple of questions from my side. So what would be your sense on the medium-term demand outlook for power tillers and tractors, and if at all, can you share your guidance for FY22 and 23?
Yeah, the medium-term outlook looks positive for power tillers, especially the short term. Medium term is a little difficult to predict. However, the monsoon prediction is good for the next monsoon as well, so that augurs well for the industry. So overall, it looks positive for power tiller. Even for the tractors, it looks positive. However, currently there is a slowdown in the tractor sale, primarily there was a cash flow delay into the farmers' hands, which affected the tractor industry majorly. But however, given the reservoir water levels, the crop prices, and the cash flow now happening into the farmers' hands, it again looks positive in the short and medium term.
Right. So any major update on the subsidy allocation in major power tiller states?
Yeah, in this quarter 4, we are seeing some subsidy allocation happening from the northeast, in Tamil Nadu, in Karnataka, and in Maharashtra.
Right, sir. Right. And second question from my side, can you share the revenue breakdown between the power tillers and tractors for the quarter?
What breakdown?
Revenues for power tillers and tractors.
Yeah, just a second. For quarter 3, just a second. Quarter 3, power tillers was 105 crores and tractors were 80 crores.
Got it, sir. Thank you. I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anyone who would like to ask a question, you may press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Devanshu Sampath from Yes Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hello sir, good afternoon. So 2 broad questions from my side. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so 2 things. One is recently the management of Mahindra and Mahindra spoke about launching code under the Swaraj brand, right? And there was a very distinct comment made by the management where they said they are targeting and they're confident of it replacing tillers. So what are your thoughts on this one? Secondly, if you can explain how is the pricing and the subsidy environment situation different for a code, and will that be something that can, will that be applicable to code as well, if you have any idea about that? And if this does turn out to be a threat over time, will this require us to be more aggressive in terms of power weeders and these kind of things? Just your thoughts.
Yeah, so we have seen code, and right now it is not eligible under any subsidy because that is a completely new segment. Probably the government will have to come out with testing regulations and standards for that, just like that happened to the cautery cycle, if you recall.
Yes.
So I think that is something that will have to evolve. Right now, subsidy is not there. However, on closer look, we see limited applications of that machine, which is again, one thing in terms of traction, in terms of all that. But yes, there are certain row crops where it could be applicable. But we are not seeing any big movements. They have, we have seen it in the market. There is no big shift happening. There is good demand for power tillers even now. And the power tiller business continues to grow. However, I would say innovation will keep happening, and we will also be not far behind in terms of bringing innovations in the market. This year, in fact, we have been awarded by CII as one of the most 25 innovative companies in the country, wherein we launched multiple models with various innovations which enables the small and marginal farmer. So while we keep a watch on what is happening with the code, one thing is for sure that VST will not be far behind in terms of innovations.
Okay. And so also there was this press release that the company put out a few weeks ago regarding this 1 rupee payment for brush cutters. Now, of course, this is something that I presume that you would also be looking at, making this facility available for financing for one product and then eventually taking it to the other products that are out there. So, can you give a little sense on whether the tie-ups are specific to that, or can it be, if you can share more details in terms of how many people we tied up with and how many, where is this financing facility available at all your outlets, and is it for all products? If you can throw some light on that, please.
Yeah. So this 1 rupee particular scheme was launched only for brush cutters, and there has been good response in the market for that. What we have seen is customers coming with Kisan credit cards and actually buying the brush cutter and converting the balance to EMIs. Brush cutter costs typically anywhere between 17,000 rupees to 28,000 rupees. So depending on which capacity and what he is buying. So this whole scheme is enabling those farmers to actually buy it easily through an EMI, just like you and me would go to a consumer durable store and buy a TV using easy finance availability. So that is what we wanted to emulate for the rural consumers in the
Members of the management, we cannot hear you at the moment. Members of the management, please confirm.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh,
Hello.
we can hear you now, so we lost you there for a while.
Yeah, so I will repeat the whole thing again. If all of you can hear me, can you just confirm if you can hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you now. Thank you.
So I'll repeat what I said. Just like the consumer finance available for durables like TV and fridge and all that. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
yes, sir.
Yeah, so the same thing we are enabling for the small farm machinery customers. We have got good response on the 1 rupee scheme, wherein the farmer comes in with the Kisan credit card and buys makes the down payment of 1 rupee and rest he converts it into an EMI. So the same methodology, of course, not the 1 rupee, but different schemes we are also launched for power tillers, wherein the down payment is 4,000 rupees and rest of it is converted into EMIs for the farmer to pay. So that is also yielding a good result. The other thing which the company is doing is creating digital payment ability in all our dealerships. We have reached about 85 dealerships now, where Paytm machines have been installed. We are taking it up to 300, 400 dealerships within the next 2 months, wherein the whole digital abhiyan of the government, where the farmer is using the Kisan credit card, which will also, this facility will also enable him to buy machinery now, which he was not able to do until now. So with this initiatives, we are able to get good response from the consumers. I hope I have answered your question.
Yes, sir. So just to clarify, so basically what you're saying is financing availability will be there at all your outlets maybe in a quarter or two, right? Not only for brush cutters, but for all products essentially.
Exactly, yes.
Okay, great. So yeah, that's it from my side for now. I will get back in the queue if I have more questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you may press star and 1 to ask a question at this time. The next question is from the line of Marshall, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. My question is that, considering this, considering surge in the raw material cost, how are you placed in terms of the steel price increase and all those things? So, what do you think that in terms of margin during the Q4? What's your sort of guidance that is compared to Q3? Number one, this first question. Second question, that how do you see this sale of tiller and tractor during the Q4 as compared to Q3 in terms of numbers?
Yeah. So. The commodity inflation continues to be an issue. There is definitely pressure in terms of costs that is being created through the commodity inflation. However, the company has been able to manage the cost very efficiently, both the operational cost and the various efficiencies that we have been talking about in the last few quarters. That is yielding as a result. That is the reason why our operational EBITDA has not gone down. So it is being maintained, and on a 9-month basis, we have also seen slight growth. And going into Q4, I think we will be able to manage our costs better. Some of the accrual of all the projects that we have been doing will continue to flow in Q4 and in the coming quarters as well. So we should be able to manage our margins in the range that we are currently talking about, which is 12% to 14%, which we have sustained, and I think we will continue to sustain.
And what about the numbers of, like, projected numbers of sales for the tillers and the tractors, considering that it's year-ending also March quarter, so every company tries to push more in the market to book more sales. So what do you think in terms of how many we sold, how many tillers we sold, how many tractors we sold in Q3, and what's your target to sell in the Q4?
Yeah, I just read out the Q3 numbers. So we have sold 7,139 tillers in Q3 and 2,043 tractors in Q3. Q4 we should be better. We don't give any forward-looking numbers in our calls, but we think it is going to be positive.
Very good. And so last thing, that did you also take some price increase, because steel was very high and the power tool was also getting higher? So what about price increase?
Yes, we are looking at a price increase, and we have taken that in Q4.
Okay. So you didn't take any price increase in Q3?
Q3, no.
Okay.
Q3,
okay.
Sorry,
okay.
Q3 we took in October.
Okay. And then again you're planning to. So
November
so you are planning to have another price hike during this quarter?
Yeah. See, most of the industry has already done the price increase in December. We are looking at doing the price increase in Q4. Yes.
Okay. So one you did in effective from November. Second price increase you are targeting to do during this quarter.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. So nice. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. All the best.
Thank you. Anyone who would like to ask a question, you may press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Anand Srinivasan. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi sir. Sir, how is the expansion in higher HP tractor going on? And any status, what is the current status?
Yeah, the higher expansion, the higher horsepower tractor expansion is going as per plan. We shifted to Hosur in the beginning of this year. So the entire production capacity is completely set up for higher HP tractors. We have also taken steps to grow into the higher HP markets this year. So we are making beginnings in those markets in like UP, MP and Rajasthan. We are getting very good response. We should be able to do 1,000 plus numbers in this financial year, hopefully in the higher HP segment. And going forward, we should be able to grow it further in the coming years.
Great to know, sir. Sir, on the implement side, what is the current status? And also on the precision precision implement side, we are talking about expanding on those lines. So any light on that side?
Yes, precision implements division is something we have started manufacturing of rotavators in Mysore. The business team is also being put in place. We have seen early beginnings of the revenue flowing in, but I think in the coming years it will scale up further.
Okay, and sir, what is the current inventory status, sir? Is it normal lines or how is it?
Yeah, in normal lines, of course, in Q3 we had a slightly higher inventory of about 133 crores, but we should, it is in line with our plans to build inventory for the season, considering January also is Pongal and harvest season and an upward tick in the industry. It's as per plan, and things would be normal as you said.
Great, sir. I'll fall back in case.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone who would like to ask a question, you may press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Sonal Gupta from L&T Mutual Fund. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon, and thanks for taking my question, sir. Sorry, I joined the call a little late. Could you repeat the revenue numbers for tiller, tractor, and parts for this quarter?
Yeah, just a second. For Q3, the company revenue was 20. Did you get the company revenues, right? You just wanted the tiller and tractor revenue. Okay, the tiller revenue is about 105 crores and tractor revenue is at about 80 crores.
80 crores. And parts?
Parts is about 22 crores.
Okay, same as last quarter. So just on the carrying on with the previous question on higher HP tractors, I was just trying to understand, like this year, we have also, along with the industry, seen a sharp decline in tractor volumes, despite the fact that you've launched a new product range as well, and our overall base is also relatively small. So could you, shed some light on that? Like you mentioned that you were going to do like almost 1,000 units for higher HP tractors. So the underlying lower HP tractors are seeing a very sharp decline. Overall, how do you see this thing? Is there some? What are the factors here?
Yeah. So the higher HP tractors, there is not going to be any decline. This year, we have set up the operation in Hosur and it has begun. And as we move forward, you will see the growth in the volumes in the higher HP as production and product stabilizes. So apart from that, the compact tractor segment is predominantly for us being sold in Gujarat and Maharashtra, Karnataka. So what has happened this year, the industry fall has been at a certain level for a few, last few months. However, the drop has been larger in states like Gujarat, where the larger number of compact tractor segment is sold. So that has impacted our compact tractor segment sale, and that is why you see a dip in volumes in the tractors. And secondly, as I said before, we go only by consumption, and the entire cycle is built on consumption and the billing happens on consumption only. So it is very directly proportional to the demand in the market right now. So these are the two reasons. So we don't build any inventory in terms of the channel inventory. So these are the two factors by which you see a decline in compact tractors. The higher HP tractors is continuing to grow, although at a small percentage. And going forward, I think things will look better because Gujarat and Maharashtra water levels and pricing for the crop producers are looking good.
Got it, sir. So, but overall, do you see, we are hearing a lot of news flow saying rural stress. Even some of the larger tractor competitors have sort of commented. So do you think that the industry will continue to face pressure even in FY23, or do you think that we've largely seen the worst of the impact?
See, the pressure is seen against a very large base in the previous financial year. However, you look at in terms of where the industry will end up this year, will be close to 900,000. So it is actually the large base of the previous financial year which we are comparing against, and then we are looking at the growth that is being seen. However, what I see is in the coming near term or the medium term going into the Kharif season, I see things would look good. The reason being, one is the water levels are good, the crop planting is good, and the prediction on the monsoon is also good. So just recently, few days back, the prediction on monsoon also has come, which is being predicted to be normal. So with all these put together, it looks good for the coming season as well.
Got it. And sorry, sir. And could you share some where are you in terms of financing numbers? Sorry, in terms of like you mentioned, you have launched the EMI scheme. So how is the share of financing moved? Could you talk about maybe versus last year?
Share of financing has over the last few quarters we have been focusing on it, about 6 to 7 quarters. What we have done is from zero financing happening in tillers. Currently, we are at about 3.5%. So earlier, zero retail finance used to happen. It has gone up to 3.5 to 4%. Our immediate target is to take it to at least 10%, and the next year take it to at least 20%.
So in the latest quarter, we are at 3.5, is it?
Yeah.
And what would be the case for you on the tractor side?
Tractor side predominantly is finance, so there is no question of no finance availability in that segment.
Got it, sir. And just lastly, I mean, in terms of the tiller volumes, could you tell us what share of would be B2B in terms of your volume?
Tiller volume B2B is about 1,500 numbers so far this financial year.
Okay. Got it. Sure. Thanks a lot. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Arpit Shah from Care Portfolio Managers. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Very good afternoon, and thank you for giving me a chance. Sir, what are your pipeline for next year launches in tractors and in tillers or any other farm equipment that we want to launch?
Yeah, the new products that we will be launching in the coming months, we are launching a couple of products in the compact tractor segment, which will be advanced products in terms of ergonomics, in terms of the hydraulics in the compact tractor segment. Also, in the coming financial year, we will be launching the VST Zetor range of tractors in the high HP segment. In the small farm equipment sector, we will be launching a range of handheld machines like chainsaws, which we will be looking at.
Okay, so these are in coming few months only? Or
yes, coming few months only. VST Zetor launch will be sometime in Q2, Q3.
Okay. So sir, this is related to our original plan of achieving 3,000 crores. So as the time, so I believe that management still stand by that word that we are trying to achieve 3,000 crores of top line. So is it correct, sir? We stand by our word?
See, last financial year we achieved a growth of 43%. This year we should be able to, we are looking at close to 20% plus in terms of growth. So cumulatively we are at about CAGR in the last 2 years about 30%. So we need to get to about 35-36% on a 5-year journey to get to the vision that we are. So the more importantly, what I would like to share with you for the company, it has been to get onto a very aggressive growth path. I think that point has been achieved in terms of achieving year-on-year growth. So, and the focus will continue, and more products and projects which we have started earlier is going to come in line in FY23 and FY24. So those revenues have not been realized yet. So in the next financial year, those things should be coming through, and we are positive on chasing down this vision that we have set forward.
During this journey, do we see any, any revolutionary product for this farming segment or the small farm equipment segment, or there will be some natural sunset of some product? So we have of say tillers or something like that. If my earlier questioner asked that M&M is launching something to replace the power tiller. So do we see any change in product mix or any strategy, any changing in strategies that we have to implement or something like that?
See, there are, like I have shared earlier with you, we are looking at 4 or 5 strategies in terms of gunning for this growth. I'll repeat what I have said before. One is ensuring that the power tiller business is converted to a small farm mechanization business. So power tiller plus. Secondly, we are looking at ensuring capacity utilization for our higher horsepower tractor and selling those volumes. Third is chasing of leadership in the compact tractor segment and sustaining it. That is the third one. Fourth, what we have said is we will be getting into precision implements, which we are doing. Fifth is what we have said is we will look at rural distribution opportunities. Very soon we will be coming to you and telling you probably in Q1 of next year that we are getting into rural distribution, and I will be able to share more details on that with you in Q1. And the last one is we said we will invest in technology and future innovation. So you have seen us going and investing in electric tractor technology, and Zimno being the makers of Monarch tractor, for which we are in talks with them, and we have already supplied the powertrain to them.
Okay, great, sir. Sir, last question is on the export. How do you see export coming in?
Yeah, export is doing quite well for us. We are growing about 140% plus on the export front in this current year. And we have been able to go into the countries which we wanted to go into, like Eastern Europe. I told you earlier that we will be entering, which we have done this year. And we said we will expand in Africa. So we have been able to create a network in West Africa and Southern Africa. So we are yet to enter the Eastern African part, which very soon we should be able to.
Okay. All the best, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone who would like to ask a question, you may press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Anand Srinivasan. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for taking my question again, sir. I just wanted to ask about what is the capex for this year and next year?
Yeah, capex will be around 45 crores for this year. And next year, the plan is in progress. Probably the next call, I will be able to share more details with you.
Sure. And I just wanted to know if there are any subscription-based models that can be explored. I just wanted to know how technology can disrupt, the business model that is existing currently. Because there are also some players who are working on, tractor for hire or something like that. So are there any opportunities you see on this side?
We have operated custom hiring service centers, and the business model has not proven to be quite profitable. However, I think what you said is so many things are emerging and we are closely watching it. One of the latest things that is emerging is drone as a service. So these are the things that we are watching closely, and the company will be taking steps to be in the forefront of emerging technologies, especially for the small farmer.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Sonal Gupta from L&T Mutual Fund. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, sir. Thanks for the follow-up question. Sir, just wanted to understand on the precision implements you mentioned you started rotavators. What all implements are you looking at? And by when do you expect to have a complete portfolio?
Yeah, so it will be a continuous journey. So right now we have started with rotavators. Second thing we are working on currently is sprayers. And we are also looking at certain components like tines that go into tillers and rotavators. So we are in multiple talks with them, and I think this journey will continue. There is no, complete portfolio kind of situation that we are looking at. What we are saying is wherever the opportunity is now, for example, like I was just telling the previous caller, one thing that is emerging is drones now. So we would be looking at it as well. So we will be working on it.
Got it. And are there any other plain vanilla things like we're seeing now a lot of OEMs getting into, just from other segments, like getting into the usual stuff like even lubricants and all, they're selling through their network as part of their spare part business. So, are we looking at...
Yeah, we're definitely doing that. I spoke about the rural distribution that we want to do. So we are building a completely digitally enabled funnel. So I will share more details with all of you once we have completely get it off the ground and going. Right now, a lot of work is happening on that front, and probably in the coming quarters, I will be able to share more details with all of you.
Got it, sir. And just on these precision implements, are these largely again cash and carry, or there is an element of finance?
Everything is cash and carry. Everything is cash and carry. At least to the channel partners, we are on cash and carry model only.
Right. No, I'm understanding. For the end customer, you've launched this brush cutter scheme where you are giving it on a EMI basis. So I would imagine that a lot of these.
No, for tractors and implements, there is finance available. So many of these implements are financed by the customer.
Right.
The real issue of finance is in the small farm machinery segment, which is the power tiller, power weeder, brush cutter space.
Got it, sir. Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Kunal Sapnis from Nine Rivers Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Thanks a lot. The average realizations for tractors have gone up sharply. What do you attribute this to?
Of course, we have had a price increase in the year due to continuous commodity inflation. That definitely has happened. And second is there is also a shift towards higher horsepower sale. Even in our compact segment, larger number of 27 horsepower is selling compared to 18 horsepower. 30 horsepower is another compact tractor which has started selling. Then of course our journey into higher horsepower space, which is the 45 HP and 50 HP segments, that come at a higher price. So from all these perspectives, of course, if you compare the average realization with previous years, definitely you will see that it has gone up.
So mix of mix change and the price hikes.
Product mix and inflation, yeah, both.
Got it. On the export front, you said you will grow this year 40% above last year, right? Is that
140%.
140%. So last year you did about 650 volumes. That will grow by 140%.
Correct.
And which geographies is this primarily driven by? I mean, is this
Europe primarily, I would say. Africa we have just entered. We are getting good growth there, but the base is small.
Got it. And you're planning to leverage the Zetor supply chain in Western Europe. Is that also?
Right now we are not doing it, but in the future, yes, we will be doing it. Not necessarily for Europe, because Europe we have a very good network, but the other continents like Latin America, we are looking and talking to them currently.
Got it. And if you could just give me the dealer count on tillers and tractors, both.
Tillers we are at 554 and tractors we are at 325.
Great. Thanks a lot. That's all from my side. Wish you luck for the next one.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Anand Srinivasan. Please go ahead.
I just wanted to follow back on that drone. Have you applied for the drone PLI? Are we eligible for that?
PLI, no, but we are looking at drones as an opportunity. We have just begun the studies on that. We are working on it.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Devanshu Sampat from Yes Securities. Please go ahead.
Thanks for the follow-up. So a few questions. So can you give a bit of an update on what's happening on the tie-up with Pupert and the power weeder side?
Yeah, power weeder side, the progress is good. The volumes is growing. However, no other modality improvements have happened because of COVID. We traveled to France. We had a discussion. Pupert is also expected to come to India. However, due to COVID, those things have not progressed.
Okay. So it's safe to assume that FY23 we should be able to first half.
Yes, we are definitely working on it in an unpredictable environment. So we are definitely working on that. Yeah.
Sure. And a question for the MD, if he chooses to answer. So can you talk a bit about the challenges that we are facing, not from a macro environment, but from within, right? There has been a bit of senior management attention that I have read some news, and there was also a little bit of a channel check that I did. I got to know that the tractor oil leakages issues are still, the complaints of that still are coming around. So, if you can comment a bit on that and how we are looking at addressing these issues.
On the management front, we have not had any serious issues. Yes, we've had one senior person leaving us, and that's been taken care of. We have enough of management depth to handle that issue. We don't see any problem on that. On the tractor front, you said leakage issues. We've overcome all the issues on the tractor as of now. Our tractors, the last quarter, I'd say the tractors that have gone out do not have leakage issues pertaining to models which had gone out earlier, possibly.
Okay. So you're saying
I'd like to just add on to what MD just said. I'm very happy to say that the company has begun a TQM journey, and we just had the first audit, and we actually got a exemplary award on the quality front, and that too none less than from the IMEXI. And the company's hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the company's objective to go on the journey and look at even Deming at a later stage, it continues. So definitely a lot of work has happened in the last 2 to 3 years, and the problems you spoke about are no more there.
Okay, that's great to hear. And when it comes to R&D and innovation, if you can give me an honest assessment, do you think we are self-sufficient, or are we need the help of tech partners, to sort of keep up with a lot of startups, and some of the larger names also are upping the R&D game from what I've been reading. So your take on that in terms of how we are approaching this and to stay ahead of the curve.
Yeah, so definitely innovation is going to be a critical part of our journey. So I'm very happy to share with you this year CII has awarded us VST as one of the most 25 topmost innovative organizations in the country. So we have been doing a lot of innovations, and especially in the small farm mechanization space, and that journey will continue. And we will continue to partner, especially for technology. As you know, we have partnered with Zetor. Similarly, we are working together with Monarch for electric and autonomous tractors. So those things will continue. Innovation definitely, there are several projects that are underway looking at innovations that needs to be done, especially in the small farm mechanization space.
Sure. And last question from my side is any update on the land parcel sale, and if not, then what is the reason that this is getting delayed, given that the land value and the real estate cycle news are generally quite favorable right now. So,
see, I kept on saying that land we are not looking at immediately, but like I've said before, we will definitely unlock the value of this land. But the critical factor is, the company is looking for opportunities of growth, and we will need cash at some point in time. And also, very well that, the real estate, this is not the best time to get into a commercial deal on a real estate at this point in time. But definitely, we will be unlocking the value. Nothing decided at this point in time.
Sure. Thank you, and wishing the team all the very best. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Marshall, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I think the month of August or something, there was a press release that regarding the agreement signed with the Jimeno for this electric tractor. So if you can just spell out where do we stand on this one, number one?
Okay. So Jimeno, we have supplied tractors to them. They are in the process of development, testing. There is a huge regulatory requirement in the US, so there is a lot of testing needs to be done. In the coming financial year, Monarch, that is Jimeno Inc., is expecting to launch those tractors in the US market. So for those tractors, the powertrain will go from us in India.
So it means we will see some production during Q4 or the next year, or the Q1 next year?
Next year. Most likely Q3, Q4 of next year.
Okay. And second thing, we have receivables of 82 crores in our balance sheet. So whether all those receivables are less than 6 months or something older which may not be realizable?
There are subsidy outstanding which is greater than 6 months, which a company has provisioned for. So that is what is greater than 6 months. The regular payments or the regular receivables are the aging is in a comfortable zone.
But like why we have to make the provision for the subsidy if it is a like if the government has to give some subsidy as per the policy or the notification, we should get it, isn't it?
We should get it, but we are following the credit policy set by the company, whether it is subsidy or not. We have provided.
Okay. That is fine.
Yeah.
That is fine. Okay.
Yeah.
But like otherwise it's receivable.
Yes, the government, and it is not only us. The entire industry has to get money from the Andhra Pradesh government.
Okay. All right. Okay. Jai Sri Ram. Jai Sri Ram.
Thank you. As there are no further questions from the participants, I now hand the conference over to Mr. Annamalai Jayaraj for closing comments.
Yeah, we thank all the participants. We thank VST Tillers management for taking time out for the call. Have a good day.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. On behalf of Batliwala and Karani Securities India Private Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.